Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmaids.com, and thank you so much for joining me for another Stampin' Up! Saturday tutorial. Today's project features a bundle that you can find in my online store. With the bundles, if you buy the stamp set and the coordinating framelits, you save 10%. So it's a really great deal, and this is the Sunshine Sayings bundle. So you get this awesome stamp set. There's so many different sentiments that you can create using this set. You've got some images, and then in the framelits, you've got some words that you can die cut, and then you've also got some great images. So today's project is inspired by page 97 of our current 2016-2017 annual catalog. So I have been wanting to use this bundle for a while. I've had it, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months. And I've used the word hope, but that's really it. I haven't done much with the stamp set and the framelits together. And I saw this card and I just thought, you know what, I wanna make my own version of this card. So I've kept all of the elements the same, except I've changed the colors. So let's go ahead and get started, and I will show you how to create this awesome card. Okay, so here's how my version of that card turned out, and I absolutely love this card. I think it's so striking. It's elegant with these colors. It's just beautiful to look at. I absolutely love everything about this card. And I think you guys are gonna really enjoy the process of making this card. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how to make this gorgeous Sunshine Sayings card. Okay, so to get started, I've got a piece of our watercolor paper here, and we are going to start by getting this piece ready because I want to do my die cutting first. We're going to end up die cutting the word sunshine out of this piece of watercolor paper, but I'm going to start by using my aqua painter. It doesn't matter which size. We actually have 2 sizes, but it doesn't matter which one you use for this. And I'm going to take out my Bermuda Bay ink. I've already squeezed some ink onto my lid. The way I did that is you just squeeze your ink pad and it puts a little bit of color there on your lid. I'm going to take my aqua painter and I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of water down into the barrel, not too much. And I'm just going to get some of this ink and I'm just going to create a wash basically on my watercolor paper. And I want the Bermuda Bay to be darker on the left and then to gradually lighten out, okay, just like that. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit more ink and I'm gonna do that one more time. And I just want it to really lighten out as it goes across. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. All right, so I've got my big shot here and I'm gonna bring in my multi-purpose platform. I've also got my precision base plate. This is really helpful if you're die cutting intricate dies. So I really would recommend that for this sunshine die as well as the flower die that we're gonna cut out. It just helps to pop those intricate ones out a little bit easier. So I've got that on top. And this acts as your cutting surface, so you don't need a cutting plate on right now. You can go ahead and put your images down or your cardstock down. So I'm gonna put that piece that we just did the watercolor wash on. I'm gonna put my word sunshine right on top, right about there. Then I've got a piece of, let me move this way. Okay, then I've got a piece of Peekaboo Peach cardstock, and I'm gonna add that little flower image on top. Now I'm gonna put my cutting plate on top, and I'm just gonna run this through, and I'm gonna do it 2 times. I wanna be sure that this cuts out really nicely. I'm gonna run it back, and I'm gonna run it one more time through, just to be sure. Okay, so now that we've got both of our die cuts ready to go, I'm gonna bring in a piece of Whisper White cardstock right here. This is cut at 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. And we're gonna do a little bit of stamping. I'm gonna use my Peekaboo Peach. And I'm also gonna go ahead and bring in just a scrap piece of paper here. This is just some computer paper. And I'm gonna use this die cut to help me with placement of my stamping. So I know that I want this to kind of be on the layer like this. Okay, so I'm going to start by stamping the stem of my flower. Okay, I'm going to stamp that off once, and then I'm going to stamp it right about here. Okay, that looks good. Now I can move this out of the way, and I'm going to stamp my flower, ink that up, stamp off, and let's see, I'm going to stamp that right there. Okay, then I'm going to take the little paint swoosh image, and I'm going to ink that up, stamp off, and I'm going to stamp once, then twice, ink that up again, stamp off. I'm going to stamp once up there as well. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so now we can add this piece on right about here, and I'm going to use my fine tip glue to add this on. Just take this. I've also got my silicone mat here, and this just helps. If you get adhesive on it, it won't stick to your work surface and all of that. It's a very helpful tool. Just add a little fine tip glue. Lay that right about there. And with the fine tip glue, you just have to remember to press and hold for just a second to allow your adhesive to dry. Okay, so now we've got this layer ready to go. So the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to add the sunshine sort of at an angle like this on the card. But I'm going to use this first as a guide so that I can do the rest of my stamping. So I'm going to bring in my basic gray archival ink, and I'm going to start by stamping Take Heart. This is from the Sunshine Sayings stamp set. Okay. And I'm just going to overlap that across this stamped flower a little bit. Just like that. Then I'm going to stamp the Is on Its Way. Just right down here. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so now I've got my silicone mat again. I'm just going to add a little bit of fine tip glue to my sunshine. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this down at an angle, right about here. Looks good. And again, you just want to press and hold for a few seconds, let that adhesive do its job. Okay, so now I've got a piece of our silver sequin trim. I'm going to take 3 sequins off of this trim, just like that, and I'm actually going to take a few extras off because I want a little bit of the edges to be kind of frayed. So let me take some off of this end. Okay, so I think that's about how I want my sequin trim to look. So I'm just going to slide these to the side, these extra sequins, and I'm going to bring in my card base. This is a piece of basic gray cardstock. I have cut this at 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and I have scored it at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to fold this over and give it a nice tight crease here with my bone folder. Okay, there we go. And now what I want to do is I want this to hang off the sides from behind my layer, because this layer is going to go on, it's going to go on like this. Okay, so I want that trim to kind of hang from behind it like that. All right, so what I'm going to do is take just some regular Scotch tape, and I'm just going to tape it down. You could use glue dots if you wanted to also. Okay, just like that. All right, now I'm going to take my little layer here, flip it over, and I'm just going to add some dimensionals to the back. All right, so I'm just removing the backings from my dimensionals. And now we can just add this layer on at an angle like so. Just like that. Okay, give it a press. Perfect. So cute. I love this card. Okay, so now the last step, I'm going to add some of these sequins onto the front. And you can see when I stamped Take Heart, I got a little bit of ink there. So this is the perfect opportunity to cover up mistakes. So I'm just going to take this sequin and put it right in my glue dot. Okay, so I just put my sequin right in my glue dot. And whoopsies. Flip that over. And I'm just going to add that right there, and that little mistake is gone. Can't tell the difference. I'll just add on 2 more. Okay, so here's my original, and I also created a little envelope, and I just stamped that flower image right onto the envelope just to add a little something extra. Okay, so there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed today's project. I love this card. I think it's just stunning to look at. I hope you enjoyed. All of the supplies and measurements can be found over on my coordinating blog post at QuitaBugHandmaids.com. I have linked that just below the video in the description notes, and you can order any of these supplies today. So thanks again, and I will see you real soon. Bye now.